Uh, Trodcast. Yeah. That is what is happening. I am staying hydrated. I'm drinking water. I'm actually drinking out of an Oklahoma Sooners one, but yeah. I do frequently drink out of Dream Brand ones. So. Are some GNF gonna have zip up jackets like yours? I don't know. Can suggest it, I guess. Yeah, I saw the Happy Birthday Dream project. It was really cool. Yo. You saw it? I did see it. I did indeed see it. And it was magnificent. I'm hyper. I don't know exactly why, but I'm hyper, and I'm taking it out by doing a podcast. So you guys get to profit off of my hyperness. When do the plushies come out? Guys, I'll have you know that is something we've been working on so much. It's awesome. That's something I think something that's really cool is that with the merch company, it's kind of like I just wanted to do things better and be able to do whatever we wanted eventually, even if it took time and it took practice and whatever. And there's kind of like I don't want to say like by what company, but there's kind of like a monopoly on like plushies and kind of like toys and stuff. That obviously you guys can know what company I'm talking about, but I just won't say it. That essentially creators, there's only really one place you can go to do like a plushie collab, and so I wanted to do it, but obviously it takes time and it takes a lot. We've been working on it for like over a year, but there will be plushies soon. There will be to test it. Obviously, I'm doing a pillow for myself first, which is not really a plushie, but it is a pillow. And then me, George, and Sapnap will be doing plushies, and we'll also be doing a little a 3-pack of I think keychain or just smaller plushies for the Dream Team. That'll be on the Dream Team site. So it'll be George has a plushie, I have a plushie, Sarah has a plushie, and then we have a Dream Team pack that is like small ones for the 3 of us on the Dream Team site. And that will be soon. And then after that, then as soon as we've done that and that goes well and that's successful, then we'll start being able to offer plushies for even people who don't do merch with us. If they want to do a plushie with us, they'll be able to come do a plushie with us. So I'm sure, hopefully, we'll see other creators that want to have plushies, and so we'll be able to start doing some really cool creative plushies for people that want plushies. But yeah, that's something that we've been spending a lot of time working on. So, but we want high quality. We want them to be well designed, and we want our customer service to be able to be top notch with them. So we need to kind of all those 3 things, and that takes time to even out and get sorted. You wouldn't have an estimated price yet? No, unfortunately. I'm sure it'll be very similar to what you see from other plushie sites. So you can kind of get we usually like most of our prices are very market based. So like anyone that complains about like if you go to like our shop and you look at stuff, then you can go to most big YouTuber shops and stuff and compare, and it's very very similar. So it's all market based. So I'm sure you can, if you look up plushies and you look at the major plushie makers and stuff, and you see the price, then you'd see you'd probably have a good idea. How long do you think you're going to be hanging out here for? I don't know. As long as I feel like it. Sometimes I plan on doing it for 30 minutes and it goes for 10 hours. And sometimes I plan on doing it for 3 hours and it goes for an hour. So I don't know. As long as we're chilling. As long as there's stuff to talk about and I feel like talking. Word Hunt wins update? Sure, why not? I have 2,685 because I'm cracked. Congrats on 5 MCC wins. Actually, 7, but you know, I only have the most wins out of anyone in MCC. You know. But yeah. When is the IRL manhunt will come out? I haven't been asked that in a long time actually, which is funny. I don't know. I want to do it right. It is still happening. 100%. It is happening. We actually had some really cool stuff custom made for it. I can't say what, but I had a whole like chest piece type thing that has some part of it that I can't say what it is, that is for the video specifically to make it like manhunt, like to make it close to kind of manhunt, like as the video concept. Because I don't want to reveal like what the video idea is, cause like and how it actually works and how it's going to be like Minecraft Manhunt. But it's going to be as close to Minecraft Manhunt in terms of like accomplishing it while making it in real life. But having the same manhunt feel and the same like it feels like it's kind of the same goal, even though obviously you can't beat the Ender Dragon in real life. And so we had some custom stuff made for it. That's going to be really, really cool. That you guys are going to think is sick. That's some of that's done, some of it's not done. And there's more to come from that. And then we want to obviously there's gonna be a lot of planning that has to go into it. So I would be hopeful that we might be able to do it by the end of this year and have the video come out. But I don't necessarily. I think that that's a very big goal. So I'd say that it'd be more likely to happen like early next year, like very, very early next year. But that's right now. I say like there's a chance it comes out like mid-December or something. And obviously for monetization purposes, that'd be pretty awesome. But that's the goal. Obviously, there's no reason I wouldn't want to get it out before December, because then you get all the ads. But then January ads suck. So, but hey, if we get it done January, February, or March, then it happens. But that is the goal. The goal is to have it out as soon as possible. What was the last thing you cooked? Eggs don't count. Pancakes. Do you remember what the first book you were really interested in was? Harry Potter, I believe. That I got like really into. That I was like, oh my god. Fit check. I'm wearing some dark gray sweats and then a Oklahoma long sleeve tee. Red. How hot it is in Florida right now? It's pretty hot. And the AC broke. And it's fixed now, but it was hot. Patches is great. Patches is great. Why are you wearing a long sleeve that's hot? I'm inside. And I like the shirt. Get over yourself. Dalton's out temporarily moving in with Carl and Flourish. It's awesome. It's great. It's kind of funny. Like I saw people saying like Sapnap like abandoned me or like left me. It's like, guys, if I was him, I would do it too. Like we can't do anything together. Like what do we do? Like the most we do is like watch sports together. And it's not even the sports season right now. There's no sports going on. Like in a couple weeks there will be, but Like we can't really do anything. Like we've just like we play chess in person now and then. We just chill in the living room now and then and like talk. But like we can't really do anything. We don't leave and go anywhere. So, I mean, like it's not like we could do much anyway. We pretty much just do what we do on Discord but in person. So it's not like he didn't really abandon me. We have literally talked just as much since he's left as we did when he was here, which is funny. Dream has brown hair. Look, I don't care. I don't care. You can think if I have brown hair. I think it's like one of those things where some people call dirty blonde hair brown hair. So if you call my hair brown, then you call my hair brown. I think that the majority opinion will shift once people see my hair in like videos and stuff. Because and like whatever, because I think that it can look very golden. And brown hair never looks golden. I mean, there's never a time where you'll see someone with brown hair and go, oh wow, their hair looks really gold. If their hair looked really gold, then obviously they don't have brown hair. So, I do have dirty blonde hair. But if you call dirty blonde hair brown, like a light brown, then sure, I don't care. I'm not too pressed about it. Your eyes are very pretty. Thank you. I like my eyes. Green and rare. Green is rare. Are you gonna do another fan package review thingy? I think once I face reveal, I probably will try and push doing like a PO box unboxing. But obviously, everything right now is the PO box is still there and it still receives things and everything's received. I get everything. So yeah, I have someone that manages it and it opens everything up and then organizes everything. So. When you face reveal, are you interested to do a Sam and Colby video since you're a skeptic as well about paranormal things? I'd love to be in a Sam and Colby video. I'm not a skeptic though. I'm a denier. So there's a difference. A skeptic is and I don't know her. A denier is no, it's not real. I do it because it's fun. It's like, it's like going to Harry Potter World at Universal. Cool fantasy experience. I'm fine with experiencing going to like a ghost town or a ghost area because I get to hear these fantasies about ghost stories and it's fun. And I'm sure it'd be scary. I'm sure I'd be on edge and I'm sure I'd have my hair standing up and be like, oh my God, how did that happen? But at the same time, it would not affect my opinion remotely on ghosts. I would go from a 0 to a 0 at the end. But if they would like to give it a shot and hold out hope that I could go from a 0 to a 0.0001, then they can try their best. One scenario. What's one thing that would make you believe in ghosts? Me dying and becoming a ghost. That is the only way. That's the only way. I'm sorry. If I die and then I become a ghost, then I'm sure, yeah, I'll believe in ghosts. I mean, obviously at that point, hey. Anyway, let's get off the ghost. I've talked about ghosts enough. Let's get off the ghost subject. Who is your favorite YouTuber? I don't know. I feel like actually, okay, it's Good Mythical Morning. I mean, does that count? That obviously counts. I was gonna say, I just was like, who do I think makes the most consistently good content that is up my liking than Good Mythical Morning? Because I've consistently watched them and every video of theirs, and I've never watched a video and gone, that was a bad video. And then I'd probably say Mr. Beast is up there for sure. He always never fails to surprise me with the content he makes. But sometimes I'm more like I'm a lazy watcher where I like to watch videos where it's kind of like it's not optimized for the YouTube algorithm, so on and so forth. So I can sit back and watch like a Good Mythical More and just them talking and whatever and find it funny and enjoy it while I'm eating or whatever, or while I'm bored. Versus like a Mr. Beast video is kind of like I want to see something epic happen, So they're different styles of content, but I say my favorite like YouTuber, Mr. Beast. My favorite like YouTuber, Good Mythical Morning. Do you have eyebrows? I do have eyebrows. I think it's so funny. I think that people, one of the things I get complimented the most on are my eyebrows. I'll say that. I've never had my eyebrows like done or anything, but I have like sharp, kind of pronounced eyebrows, I guess. Like they're not like thick, but they're pronounced. I don't know. Hey, you'll see. I guess they're probably fairly normal, but they're normal eyebrows, but they're eyebrows. I've never touched my eyebrows. I've never done anything to them. They just have existed on my face. Roach hit 100 million. That's awesome. I know, I did see. That is awesome. It's amazing. It's incredible. What is that not blur in his latest video? He blurred something? What do you mean? I don't remember. I sent something? What time is that? Yeah, by the way, I haven't uploaded. You guys need to watch it if you haven't. His video is funny. I sent a chat message? What time? Someone give me a timestamp. No, George did as you. Oh, was that like the end of the, was it near the end of the video? I don't even remember this video. We recorded this video like 5 months ago. Simon's just an idiot and he just didn't edit it. It's like halfway through. Why did he blur it? I don't remember. I don't know. I can't even find it in the video. Oh well. 18. Yeah, it is near the end. I don't even know. Let me listen. He's gonna have to learn how to blur that out. He taught him. No way. He probably did. They were like calling the other day and editing. That's so funny. I don't know. I don't remember. They probably just said like something dumb. It was probably just like one word and it was just inappropriate or something. That's funny. Yeah, he probably did edit it together though. He didn't edit his video in North Carolina. He had it done, but just before he left. And then they made we were gonna make the thumbnail all together, and then they made the thumbnail together. What is your go-to awkward hand pose? I don't actually know. I definitely don't do thumbs up though. That one, no, I don't do that. I feel like peace sign is way more likely with me. I'm just thinking like peace sign. I feel like I've done peace sign plenty of times. Or just like, I don't know, maybe like I don't know. Yeah, I feel like peace sign probably. I feel like peace sign is probably what I would do. I don't know. I don't really know. Thoughts on MCC Ace Race and more info, Zach? Got so many MCC. MCC Ace Race. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't go back and watch anything that I said. I'm sure I said dumb stuff because obviously it's like winning the lottery and then being like, oh, nope, you actually didn't win. Like when you have that rush of adrenaline and then you're super hyped about something and then you get told like, no, actually, then it feels bad. And so I'm sure I was definitely reactionary. I don't think I actually said anything that bad, but I probably said stuff that I didn't explain things well or do anything differently. I think they made a good decision with what they had to make the decision based on. I expressed my opinion in the MCC Discord like afterwards about the fact that I think that they should have a essentially this is what I expressed in the MCC Discord. Is I think the reason that it felt bad, and I said something about like bias during when I like right after it happened. And again, I think everybody is naturally biased. Like I'm biased, and everyone that obviously the MCC organizers are naturally going to be biased towards one thing or another, right? No matter what, everyone's going to be biased. I don't think this decision was made based on bias, but I think that leaving things like this up to there's no rhyme or reason as to like when they do X and when they don't do X, can make it feel like, okay, here's a better explanation. Here's like my thoughts summarized. Essentially, the way to make somebody feel good whenever they're in a situation like that, or at least the best they can feel, is to make it them know for certain that if they're on the other side, that they would get the same treatment. And so I have I can't say I have no doubt whatsoever that if I was one of the 10 people disconnected, that it would have happened. I assume it probably would have. But if there was a guideline that said like, hey, look, if there's this many players affected, then we do X. If it happens halfway point of the game, then we do Z. Like with most like competitive sports, they have kind of general guidelines that happen. Then you know that, like, cause obviously if I was in one of the 10 people, I 100% would have been like, yeah, reset, what the fuck? I would have been just as mad the opposite way. I'd have been like, that's bullshit. I was in third place and then I got disconnected and then I, fucking MCC, redo it. I would have been the exact same way if I was on the other side, 100%. And that seems like a hypocritical take. But it's really not, because obviously no matter what, if you're on the other side or the main side, if you're super competitive, you'll be like emotional about it, obviously, like regardless. But I think that the way that you make it so that everyone's happy is that if you know for certain that you would have gotten the same treatment, then obviously you feel better. And so when I said the bias thing, it was just me thinking like, hey, I'm a complainer. And I know I'm a complainer. I'm an annoying asshole. I'm very competitive and I'm a complainer. I will complain about shit. If something bad happens, I'm going to complain about it. So because of that, it's kind of a boy who cried wolf situation. So because I complain a lot, I'm less likely to get the benefit of the doubt of when I complain, right? I don't know if that makes sense. But like, if I'm going to, like, just in general, and that's not even a thing against MCC. It's just the truth. Like, obviously, no matter what, because I complain, I'm going to get the benefit of the doubt less when I complain. It's like, let's say I was to get disconnected in Ace Race and I was say something in chat and be like, hey, I get disconnected. This is fucked. This is dumb. They're going to probably take that less seriously than if someone else who doesn't complain is say something like that. Anyway, so my point being that I think I was feeling in the moment, like, how do I know that if that had happened to me, they would have reset? Maybe they wouldn't have. Right? Because there's not a set in stone rule saying, hey, we reset if this happens or that happens. And so I was feeling like, yeah, I would want them to reset if I was one of the 10 people, but I might get boned in either scenario. Like if I was one of these people, then I would have they wouldn't have reset for me. If it was me and Sapnap, they wouldn't have reset for me or whatever. And that doesn't mean that they 100% would have. I mean, who knows? They probably would have in this situation no matter what. And I don't want to say MCC is biased or whatever. But it's like that feeling where if there was set out guidelines, then you would never have that. You would never have doubt. And so you would just know, yeah, I did get first and then I kind of sucked afterwards. But at the same, if I was on the other end, then I would have wanted to have it reset, obviously. So just knowing that, hey, 100% I would have gotten the same treatment, gives you that peace of mind. And so my suggestion to MCC was, hey, you guys should just publicly kind of have a layout of, if X happens, then you do Z, and if Y happens, then you do X. That way, if anything was to happen, then it would just be an expectation. Oh, they're going to reset because they said that if more than this percentage of teams are affected, we reset. If it's halfway through this game, we reset. Whatever. And obviously, there's a million different scenarios, so you can't just have like specific things. It has to be kind of vague. And so that was kind of my suggestion, was to have them do that, because I think that is kind of the root of it. Is that, yes, if you can sit back and go, if I was one of those 10 people, I would have wanted it to be reset. And then obviously you should want them to reset it. But if you're expecting that if I was one of those 10 people, they might not have reset it, then obviously it's going to make you feel like you're kind of getting cheated. So that was how I felt at the time, was I was emotionally reacting to the fact that who knows if I was one of those 10 people, would they have reset for me? Because they don't have a set out guideline for it. I fully think that MCC would have reset for me as well, just to say. In that, after hearing about the circumstances of everything that actually happened. But what if there was only 5 people and I was one of the 5 people? Would they have then? I don't know. I'm a complainer, like I said. Or let's say, as an example, not me, but let's just say someone else who's not as outspoken. Let's say somebody who doesn't really complain much gets disconnected. Would they have reset for them? If there were people who didn't complain in chat or didn't complain about it and they just let it happen. So I think that having a guideline kind of fixes the problem that I had with it. But yeah, anyway, obviously I emotionally reacted, and I don't know if I don't think anything I said was necessarily bad. It was just the way that I said it. But obviously I said multiple times, I know I'm baby raging, but obviously it's just you're never going to be happy if you get first place in something and they say, hey, guess what? You're going to redo it, because you can only do worse. There's nothing you can do. You can't go up from first place. And obviously if you go watch that clip and go watch like after I got first place, I was super hyped. I knew I had a massive adrenaline rush, and I was cheering and smiling and being like, holy shit, I'm probably going to get first in the event and whatever. And then you take that away. Even if that was the right thing, which looking back on it, with everything they had, I would have wanted them to reset for me if I was in the 10. Obviously it sucks, and there's nothing you're going to feel bad about it. And no one on our team got disconnected, so it was kind of like we didn't even know. We had no idea. Like if one of us got disconnected, then we would have at least seen it coming. But it was like nobody that I knew disconnected. Nobody on Sapnap's team disconnected, and nobody on our team disconnected. So it was like I didn't hear from anybody about the problem. And Sapnap was even messaging me after the race was over, and he didn't say anything about it. So I think it was just I didn't see it coming, and I was super hyped, and then it kind of I'm a one-track minded person, so I let it get me down too much. But anyway, I mean, like I said during the event, I love MCC. MCC is great. I think that obviously I'm super competitive, and so I'm sure I'll care more about mistakes than most people. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my thoughts summarized. I don't know if you guys understood what I meant, but yeah, I think looking back on it, I think they made the best decision they could have, and I would hope that they would be consistent with that decision across everybody. But I think the emotion comes from not knowing whether or not it would be, and so it makes you think, well, yeah, but what if I had been boned in either scenario? So, and I just explained that in the MCC chat, and we talked about it and everything, and that was my suggestion to make it so at least it feels a little better. Is they have something to point to go, look, we're following this guideline that we set. We're doing this, and so it's not kind of an arbitrary thing. But yeah, build more sucks, but they need a building game. True, but other than that, we won MCC, and that's awesome. So yeah, MCC, yeah, another dub, 100% win ratio with bad, and 40% or something win ratio with George. So we just don't lose. I saw people complaining again about funneling. I had one thing I wanted to say, just because I think it's the funniest thing ever. You can go back through and look at all the dodge bolts, right? And look at the lowest player, the lowest person who shot the least or got the least kills on the team, and you will easily be able to see that the lowest player on my teams always has more kills than the lowest player on the other team, even with funneling. That's just how it works. People are going to target me, so I shoot first. How's that? It just makes the most sense. Everyone shoots more. Like this time, guess what? Bad got 2 kills. Skeppy got a kill. George got multiple kills. Everyone on the team got at least 1 kill, and everyone except for Skeppy, I think, got multiple kills. And Skeppy just happened to get targeted first as well, so he probably would have gotten multiple kills if he hadn't been. And how many people on the other team didn't have kills? There was like multiple people on the other team that didn't even have kills, even if they weren't funneling. So anyway, obviously funneling, in my opinion, funneling actually makes things more fair. It's not only is it the smarter strategy and it's just a strategy, so they shouldn't remove it, but it actually makes it more fair because the people who are shooting first are the people who are getting the target at the first, so therefore it ends up evening out. But anyway, and obviously you always will have more fun winning than you will losing. So I think that it's one of those things where in every other game, no one has a problem with people taking a role that is less like, you go, oh, this person, people generally put the quote unquote worst player on their team as Sandkeeper. And that's 100% accepted. And people generally like don't give as much armor to people that aren't as good at PvP in Sky Battle and survival games. They funnel it. That's literally funneling. You're funneling the armor. You're funneling the armor just as much as funneling everything else. In Battle Box, guess what? Guess what players get to pick what kit they want? Usually the team captains, the team leaders, they usually designate, oh, I want, I'm going to take the crossbow, and they take the crossbow. Guess what? You're funneling the best kits to the best players. Every other game has funneling. It's just different. It's a different type of funneling. It's just because funneling is so effective in dodgeball, it just stands out more. But there's just as much funneling everywhere else. Skeppy and Dream Duo with PvP was awesome. It was so great. It was so awesome. Skeppy's one of the only people I ever like had any hand in teaching 1.16 combat, and it was back before the duel, Techno Duel back then. And I remember or after the duel actually, I think. And I remember teaching Skeppy some stuff, and he's cracked. And I mean, his game sense is cracked, obviously for Sky Battle. So yeah, I think his confidence of I kind of would have an idea of, oh, I kind of want to go attack this team, and then he would say, Dream, do you want to attack this team? And he just knew I was thinking about it, and I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, going in. And we just ran in. So they were so fun. How do you feel about Sands of Time this time? Sands of Time was awesome. Sands of Time is always so much fun. I mean, it was tough because in hindsight, we Skeppy and Bad should have switched places. But we all talked about it before the event, and we ended up. I think Skeppy. I think Bad is such a good like team manager, and he's always really great at like organization and everything, and so that's why I think he makes a really good Sandkeeper. But I think Skeppy was just so new; it was his first time playing Sands of Time, and so it made it harder. It made it harder for him to like recognize things, and then also the blue tunnel just happened to be in such a crap place. It was like down a hole, so he wasn't able to find it. But it ended up working out really well. We obviously got third, and that was with a lot of issues. So it was we did great. Obviously, it pushed us into dodgeball. So freckles disappear with no sun. I mean, mine don't, I guess. I have so many freckles. My whole body is freckles. Okay, not actually, but I do have a lot of freckles. But like most of my freckles are kind of like small freckles. And like faded freckles. And then I have every now and then I have a bigger freckle, but they're really light colored and they don't really stand out that much. Like you wouldn't look at me and go, "Oh wow, he has a lot of freckles." Like that's not something you would think. But if you like were looking for my freckles, you'd go, "Oh wow, he has a lot of freckles." They're more like, it feels kind of like they're kind of like a texture of my skin, even though, I don't know if does that make sense? Like it feels like they don't stand out. It's kind of more like from afar, it would just look kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I have a lot on my like arms. So. Did you ever have a Club Penguin phase? I played Club Penguin some. I wouldn't say I had a Club Penguin phase, but I did play. I have played Splatoon before as well. Are you getting a new mic? I'm sure I will. Kind of random, but I guess I'll get a new one. I'll probably just get the same one George has. Well, George and Seven both have the same. Get a new chair. Yeah, I actually have a new chair, but I'm not using it. I have it's hard to explain. Yeah, I'll have an entirely new setup soon. Have you always had a separate office? I've always had a. That's something I thought about. I've always had a separate office. Except for when I was living with my parents. I've always had a separate office since then, though. Even when I just lived in an apartment, I said it was a 2-bedroom apartment, and I just made one an office. I've never fallen asleep on my chair. Did you have cake on your birthday? I didn't. I did not. I don't usually celebrate my birthdays. I mean, like I guess I kind of do, but not really. I usually just like see family and stuff, and that's it. Usually have a nice dinner. Dream I got into university. Congrats. If you had to choose between leaving YouTube and Twitch, what would you choose? Obviously, Twitch. What? Come on. That was a dumb question. I didn't even know Twitch existed until I had been doing YouTube like my entire life. I was never a Twitcher. Twitcher. I was never a Twitch frog. I didn't watch Twitch or stream on Twitch or anything. I didn't know it was a thing. I mean, I think I probably knew it was a thing, but I didn't know it was like I don't know. I was probably aware of its existence, but I didn't know anything about it or the community or anything. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna play on MCC Island? I'm sure some. I don't think I'll stream it or anything. I mean, maybe. I'll probably just mostly just play it every now and then for fun, off stream. Just, you know. I haven't played it yet actually, but I want to. MCC Island isn't open to it's not open to the public yet, but it's open to the public. It's like public beta, so you can like apply to get in. I think. All right, chat's broken for me now. Let's look on Twitter. I don't know what to look under. I don't know. Just tweet stuff. Drawdcast. Sure, why not? All right, I'm looking at it. Drawdcast. Today's my first day of senior year. Any advice? You wish me luck. Good luck. I don't have any advice. I never really was like a senior. I did online school. I don't know. No advice. I don't know what to do. I'd be in your shoes. I'd be like, what the hell? Do your best. Your best is the best you can do. Did you see people on Reddit say that you and George teaming for MCC is 2 OP now? It's definitely not 2 OP, but it is something like, obviously you don't want to have people, you don't want repetitiveness, and like obviously we've teamed a lot, but like we've also won a lot, and so like I think we'll probably team less going forward, but I'm sure if we but that's just us being reasonable. I'm sure if we want to team, they'll probably put us together. They can find a way to put us together, because you can usually put one person down that you want to team with, but we have a lot of fun teaming together. So I'm sure I probably won't team with him for a couple MCCs, I assume, but I don't know yet. I don't know who I'll team with in the next couple MCCs or whatnot. I don't know. I'll just be. I guess I'll be real. I don't know how likely it is that any of us are in the next MCC. I mean, I don't know 100% yet, but I just know it obviously based on patterns. If it happens next month, it'll be like late next month probably, based on like obviously I don't know the date, but it's always on a Saturday, so it'll end up being, if they have an MCC next month, it'll probably be like the 17th to the 24th, because there's no Saturday, then there's no like 31st. So, and if it's one of those dates, that's near the end of September, which is kind of nearing the time of like TwitchCon and stuff. So, it might be too busy or too risky of a time period for us to say that we can 100% be in MCC. So, and they always ask you, are you certain that you can be in? Because they don't want to like plan anything. So I don't know how likely it is that any of us are in the next one, but I love MCC. So I hope we can. I hope we can sign up, but I don't know yet. That's just for the next one though. Obviously, I'd love to still be in MCCs going forward. But it could end up that the Dream Team isn't in the next one. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best cereal. Do you agree? I don't agree. I think Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a very good cereal. I don't think it's the best cereal. But I don't know what the best cereal is. I feel like what are my favorite cereals? If you're going for like a healthy cereal, or not healthy, but like less, not as like sugary cereal, I like oatmeal squares. Oatmeal squares is good. I like honey bunches of oats. Like those are like more like health conscious. If you're talking about like sugary cereals, like Fruity Pebbles are cracked. Cinnamon Toast Crunch again is like one of the best like sugary cereals for sure. But it's like, yeah, kind of. I don't really like chocolate, so I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch isn't chocolate, so that's why I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But I don't like most of the chocolate cereals people like. And then like Captain Crunch is pretty good. I guess those are probably my favorite cereals. I don't really have cereal though, but when I do, be one of those. Have you ever argued with George and both of you just completely ignored each other? Dude, we've been friends for ages, obviously. Have you ever argued with one of your friends and been upset with them for a day or something? Like, yeah, obviously. It happens. Emotions run rampant. We argue all the time. Like 99% of our arguments, though, just end with us just being, bah, and then it's just, we move on like nothing happened. But then there's always that 1% of the time where you have an argument and then you're like, and you just leave, and then you talk to them the next day and it's like nothing happened. But when George is in America, will you stream it like in the weekend because of school and work and stuff? I don't think we'll be streaming it. I think when George comes to America, there'll be videos and there'll be TikToks and Instagram posts and YouTube and so on. But I don't think that there'll be. I don't think they'll. I mean, eventually, obviously, we'll do streams together and stuff, but there won't be like meetup streams. There'll be, I'm sure, post meetup streams a decent amount after. So, don't you worry. I thought you said you would stream the meetup. I never said that. I mean, maybe I did like a year and a half ago. I don't know. No, I probably didn't. There's no way I said that. I think I've always said that we won't be streaming. We definitely won't be streaming it. We'll be doing videos and stuff. That's always been our plan. So I'm sure there will be streams, but we won't be streaming the meetup. And we probably joked about it, but I'm sure there will be streams. But obviously, we're going to be living together for ages, so there'll be plenty of streams. But the meetup content will be videos and pictures and etc. You and George joked about how many viewers you would get if you streamed the meetup. Yeah, that sounds like something we would do. There probably would be. There's probably a lot of viewers. But it doesn't matter. Do you think it'll be awkward for a bit during the meetup? No, I don't think it'll be awkward. I think it'll be not awkward at all. There'll be a warning. There will be warning. We've always said that. There'll be warning before the meetup. You guys will know. I'll probably get a smile tattoo on my wrist. Person who asked. I want to get a smile tattoo on my wrist. I think I've mentioned that before. Plenty of times. There definitely will be cooking streams and stuff. I wouldn't say like immediately after, but I mean, obviously, again, we'll be living together for a long time. There will be warning. Yeah, well, what type of warning? How late is the warning going to be? I don't know. You guys will probably know basically like what we know. So I'm imagining that you guys will have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. You'll probably, I mean, you'll know preemptively days before the meetup, and then you'll probably know you won't know like exact specifics, but you'll just know generally, okay, shit's happening right now, shit's happening over the next couple days, and then like it's happening, and then again there probably will be warnings like hours before as well, and like before like anything drops, and then shit will drop, and then there'll be teasers and shit, I'm sure, that tease shit, and then it'll be like the next day there's gonna be like a vlog, and then there'll be a vlog, and then there'll be, you know, the next day there's another vlog, and then maybe a couple days later we do streams and whatever. I don't know. You guys will know. You'll know. It'll be no surprise. It'll be the only surprise will be like whenever you first get confirmation that it's happening in, you know, this week or whatever. And that I'm sure that'll probably come in the form of like a George tweet or something where he tweets out, "I fucking got my visa" or something. You know, I don't know exactly how it happened. I just know that you guys will know. And there will be no surprise in terms of, oh my god, I'm not going to be like whatever. Like the only thing you'll be caught off guard is us saying yes, it's happening like right now. But are you better at cooking than George and Simon? Yes, I'm definitely. I have cooked. I mean, I'm definitely not an expert, but I understand how to use different ingredients. I understand how to cook things and what things mesh together, and you know, how to use certain utensils, and I know how to like if you give me a recipe, I can follow it easily and understand why each step in the recipe is done and why it needs to be done and how to do it. But I'm not a great chef or anything. Like I'm sure if I tried to cook things on my own that I would make monstrosities, but I definitely have a better understanding than both of them. Those guys are idiots. Are you going to TwitchCon Paris 2023? I don't know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow. How am I gonna know if I'm going to TwitchCon Paris 2023? Holy cow! You don't ask me about stuff next year. I don't know anything next year. Do you ever think about what possible advantage, I'm guessing evolutionary, the development of believing in the supernatural could have bestowed upon humans? Because I don't understand it. I think an evolutionary advantage of believing in the supernatural could be that you might have more respect for people when they're alive. You might have more respect for the elderly, which is beneficial to society. I don't know. You might have more empathy towards sick people, towards people dying, towards people that are near death, which again benefits your society. I don't know. That's just me thinking about it. What's your second favorite color? I don't know. Maybe like probably blue. Maybe purple. Blue, purple. I guess between blue, purple, and red, 100%. One of those. I think most likely blue. probably a light, not that light, but like darkish, the middle blue, just a normal blue, slightly on the lighter side. I really like the color of the Tommy in it merch. The one hoodie, the blue one, like that color is probably like my favorite, my second favorite color. Which country would you like to visit after the meetup, face reveal, and stuff? I mean, I want to visit tons of countries. I want to travel. I'm gonna travel some next year for sure. I don't think that I'll leave the country this year. I think I'll go to a bunch of states. I imagine I'll end up in California. I imagine I'll end up in like Texas and I'm sure like Vegas and stuff and New York and the main I don't know, the biggest tourism places I'll probably end up this year, I'm guessing. I mean, I know most likely in October I'll be in California, obviously. And then I mean, I have lots of family in like Texas and Oklahoma and Georgia and other places I'm sure I'll be, and then in Florida. I don't know. I'm sure I'll do a lot of states travel this year. Get that out of the way. And then next year I'm sure I'll travel out of the country. And I think the most likely first places for Dream to show up in 2023. Most likely I'll go from most likely to least likely in terms, because there's only really some that I think these are like the hot zones. I think outside of these, it's very unlikely that I'll probably be there next year, but who knows what could happen. I'd say Australia, New Zealand is probably number one most likely that I'll end up in 2023 out of the country. I'd say close behind is probably like Europe up there, like the UK and Italy. I mean, like France, not Italy, France, UK, you know, Scotland, Ireland, like that whole area, I think is probably the second most likely, second highest like zone. And then I think that the third highest is the Philippines. I'd put it at that. So that'd be my danger zone right now. And I'd say outside of that, a couple places that are like there's a very small chance that I would end up in 2023 would be like Greece, maybe like South Korea, Japan. I don't know. Those are just more. I want to travel there eventually, so maybe it could happen in 2023. Probably not though. So yeah, I'd say Australia, New Zealand's most likely. UK, Ireland, France, Europe area, Western Europe. It's pretty likely, and then Philippines is up there because I want to go to the Philippines. So yeah. Anyway, and that's just outside of the U.S. So I guess technically, like Canada is probably fairly likely. I guess Canada's probably not that likely, but it's not unlikely. Canada's right there. And then obviously I do want to. I mean, I want to travel everywhere, so I'm sure eventually I'll end up in Mexico and I'll end up in South America and places, but I don't know if that would be next year. I feel like next year I'll probably only travel to a couple countries. Probably two, maybe three countries, not counting countries that are like right next to each other. It's like if I go to Australia, obviously I'm gonna go to New Zealand, even though they're close. They're not like ultra close, but they're really close relative to how far they are from me. And if I go to the UK, I'm sure I'll end up in France and everything because it's right there. Is the Dream Team going to be better about posting videos and streaming once you're all together? Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, obviously, there'll just be more content to make, being able to do IRL stuff, and the motivation will be back more being together. and obviously we'll be able to motivate each other better. Is there any reason you like Australia so much? I don't know. I like Australia. Um, uh, I mean, my parents lived in Australia for. Have I said that publicly? I don't know if I have. My parents lived in Australia for a bit. They got engaged in Australia. Um, uh, I don't know. I mean, that's not. I guess that's not necessarily why I like Australia. I guess I think it's just Australia seems cool, and I guess there is some attachment there from my family and stuff. But um, I don't know. New Zealand's just because I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people in New Zealand that are cool. Australia, I don't really know too many people, I guess, but it's cool. Will you guys ever do a Dream Team house tour or set up reveals? I think I've told you guys this before. Like we definitely want to do like a house tour. Like I feel like it just feels like, hey, look at, I don't know. I just personally don't like house tours. I think house tours are kind of. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't care if people do house tours. I don't see a house tour and go, oh wow, that person's whatever. I just think that for us at least, it doesn't really fit. Obviously we have it's a nice house, and um, uh, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a look how much we have, and there's people around the world that are homeless, and um, etc. And it doesn't really matter to our content to show off our house. You'll see parts of the house because we'll make content in lots of the house. And so you'll see you'll get it. People who are fans of ours will kind of get a house tour without getting a house tour, So I feel like going out of your way to do one is kind of pointless. And kind of, I don't know. I just don't like it personally. But that's just me. But I do think that you'll definitely see setup reveals and stuff. We don't live in the Dream Team house, by the way. I think that's been a point of contention that people have said before. Like me and Santa, we don't live in the Dream Team house. The Dream Team house is unlived in. It's going to be lived in, but it's unlived in. As I was trying to explain earlier as well, with like why I'm like, I have set up, like we don't currently live in it. We weren't planning on living in it until like George move. So while he's not lived there, we've just had stuff. Obviously, like I said, we had to like build it essentially. So we've just had stuff being constructed and stuff the entire time. So we've just used the extra time to be like, all right, well, let's do this, let's add this, let's change this, just to get everything so it's just better and better, because it takes a long time to construct things, and you have to get permits, and you have to get all the materials, especially during COVID times. So yeah, I think we never said we lived in the Dream Team house, so I think people just assume we did because we talked about it. You said you moved in December. Yeah, we did. We didn't move to the Dream Team house though. We've lived in like 3 different places in a year and a half. And then it's going to be 4. Cuz cuz I moved from my apartment in like 2019 or something. And then whenever Sapnap moved to Orlando, we rented, and we had like a 1-year lease. So I think he moved in January, and I think the 1-year lease was like December to December, I think. I don't know the exact dates. And then we moved temporarily to a place that's close by to the Dream Team house, but not the Dream Team house, so we can go to it and like check on progress and stuff. And the Dream Team house wasn't done, but it was like ready. If we wanted to move into it, we were able to move into it. It's just like obviously there'd be construction and stuff. So it's been in that state for a while, where like we can always move in. It's just not. It's like there's still some stuff that's been being done, just only because we've had time. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I'm excited as well. Is the drinking house built from scratch? Yeah, I mean the drinking house has been being like, it's been like a thing since like 2020, kind of. It's been a plan in the works since 2020. The first like blueprints and everything were made in like the middle of 2020. I'm pretty sure. There's been so many changes since then, but mostly because when we had like the initial plan, it was like, yeah, we can get that done by 2025 or like something ridiculous, and we're like, okay, we need to revisit this. And so we're like, what can we do to speed it up? And it's like, well, there's multiple things you can do to speed it up. I think I've talked about this before, but so yeah, it's not completely from scratch, but essentially. Only things that aren't from scratch is to get past like permitting. What are your thoughts on that accounts that the account that's impersonating you? I don't like it. I've said before, I don't like people impersonating me. Like acting like saying they're me, or like tweeting like as if they're me or whatever. Like if it's like a absolutely clear meme, then sure. But sometimes I see that account and then I'm like, oh, they're tweeting something like to try and get the attention because people think it's me. So yeah, I don't like, obviously don't send that hate or anything, but like, yeah, I don't like that account, but I also don't like any accounts that do that. Doesn't mean that they have to stop. It's kind of just the nature of Twitter. People are gonna do things you don't like, so that's why I've never really said anything. I don't go out of my way. I don't care that much. I just particularly like, there's probably some people that think it's real, and then it just has a negative impact. But hey, they want to do it. They're having fun with it. Nothing I can do to stop them. Sweet or salty popcorn? Salty popcorn. The house has been in the works since 2020. Yes, it has. It's been in the works since 2020. It's been in the works since like ages ago. We've always had the plan of moving together and living together. And we've always wanted to. I mean, I think the first jokes about us getting houses next to each other, and George was joking about making tunnels between our houses and stuff. That was like in 2020. That was like early 2020, I think, when he first made those jokes. But yeah, I think the first like dream team house blueprints we ever had, and it was like just literally house blueprints that we wanted to have built was like really early 2020. Not really early 2020, but like early 2020, probably like, I don't know, March or April 2020. And they were like, yeah, we can build this house by 2025. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was 2025. I think it was 2020. I think it was 2023. And I think we were like, that's way too far. Like at 2020, we were like, that's so far. Guys, we can't do that. And so we like changed the plans. But now it's like, hey, maybe we should have. Maybe we should have stuck with it, and it would have been done now. But hey, well, now it doesn't matter because we were able to get everything we wanted and get it done. But what occupation do you think you would do if you didn't do YouTube? I probably would have been a developer of some kind. I mean, I was a developer, but I also feel like because I was a developer, I was able to do like pretty much anything like tech related because I knew a lot of. I don't know. I understand how programs work, and so it helps me. I would have been a good like manager. I don't know. I can't see myself as anything other than a YouTuber. I feel like I always wanted to be a YouTuber, and I would have just kept trying until eventually I made it work, or at least like something where I'm expressing creativity, some kind of internet job. Is Dream Team Christmas 2021 gonna happen? Please say yes. 2021. All right, listen. I'm just putting it on record, okay? Dream Team Christmas 2022, or I will delete my YouTube channel. I will delete my YouTube channel if Dream Team Christmas 2022 is not a thing. It's a thing. It's just happening, okay? Dream Team Christmas is a thing. That is how confident I am. I would delete my YouTube channel Dream Team Christmas are happening. That's how confident I am. That is the dream guarantee that the Dream Team meetup, the Dream face reveal, the Dream Team living together will happen before Christmas this year. 1,000,000%. I will eat my stock. I will delete my channel. I'll do everything. That means that he will be here before then. That's how confident I am. He'll be here well before then. And everything will happen well before then. But that's my guarantee. I don't like guaranteeing anything else, but that's far enough away that I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. There's no circumstance where it doesn't happen. Unless like he's like banned from America or something. Like that's like the only way. And even then it'd still happen. We'd fly in there unless he's banned from America, we're banned from the UK, and there's no way to like meet up in like, I don't know, Romania or something. Then we'd find a way. We'd find a way. But yeah, it feels good saying that. It feels good saying that. Is there a reason why you're so confident that George will be in Florida by Christmas? Yeah, I mean, well, there's a bunch of reasons, but originally, like, 'cause even for last year and Christmas, like like George was an idiot and he didn't apply for his visa for the longest time. Like, that is George's fault. But it's because he didn't need it at first, and because like COVID and everything. I think he applied. I don't even know when he applied, but he applied like late 2021 is when he applied for his visa. I think like when he first applied for his visa, it was like late 2021. And then so obviously we like didn't know. But now he's multiple like parts of the process have happened. There's been things that have happened that that designate time frames where it's like the visa office will say this time frame to this time frame. And so on and so forth. And so that's the first thing. Second thing is related to an option that is there that wasn't there before. I can't really say much more than that because it's just risky to talk about anything related to like the government and etc. But there's a solution that can happen like late this year. If all else fails, so it's like whatever. I've mentioned something similar before, but it's before I was joking about like marriage, but that was like a joke, obviously. And this is like something like actually. Yeah, I don't know. There's that, and then obviously the fact that like George technically can come to America. It's just he can't make any money in America if he comes to America. He couldn't like make YouTube videos and make money. He couldn't stream in America, or he could get in legal trouble unless he has his visa. And he couldn't like make content or do anything. And also he could be like denied if he was in America because they could go, oh, you're gonna like overstay. I think we've like hinted at that before. We've never actually talked about like exact specific legal things just because it's kind of scary to talk about sometimes. But yeah, that's why I'm very confident for all those reasons. So, yeah, versus like before when we weren't. Saturday is hopefully going to be here in less than a month and a half. Could it be true? That very well could be true and should be true. Based on what we know, this is what I'll say. Based on what we know, he should be here before TwitchCon with almost, I don't want to say like certainty, but it's pretty close. Like it's pretty close to being like certain. Which is why I got partnered on Twitch, which is why I mentioned TwitchCon in the podcast, and which is why we've been much more confident recently. That's why Sabno said that. That's why we've all kind of been more confident about it, because there's been stuff that's happened that we can't really talk about that makes it way more likely. So but yeah, that's all really we know, and that's all we really know, and there's not really much to that. So also, I mean, it could be later, but we have we have a good reason to believe that it'll be that like he'll be here, you know, in October or before October. So which is really cool. I'm really excited. I'm very happy. We all are. Yeah, and obviously Sapnapson went to North Carolina to be with Carl and them. And he plans on staying there until George is able to come to America. Make content and do stuff there. He has a lot of cool stuff planned with Carl and Foolish and them. Jimmy Beast. Are you nervous for the meetup? Like, I know you're excited, but I'm not nervous. I'm just so excited. I'm more nervous that it's like, how am I gonna adjust to just like actually like doing things again? Like I should be, you know. Like just normal stuff. So I'm like out of commission for 2 years, 3 years. I'm just not actually really doing anything. So Florida Tree thing last summer was pointless because George hadn't even applied for his visa. Well, yeah, but the difference is like George didn't know he needed a visa. He was like, yeah, I can go to America. Like I've gone to America before. Like he literally has been to Florida before. So he was like, yeah, I don't need a visa. Like I said, I think that was his thought process back then. Like he didn't really like, that's why there was no talk of visas back then. Like we weren't like, oh, he's getting his visa. Like I don't think we were saying that back then. I think it was like, we're just, you know, there was like COVID restrictions and stuff. And then like, as soon as he could go, he like looked into, okay, what do I need to do to go? And then he's like, wait, if I go to America, I can't make any videos. I can't do streams. I can't do anything. He's like, what? I didn't know that. And so then he ends up, then he has to apply, and then he applied. And then obviously there's been complications and shit since then that we can't really talk about, that we'll talk about after everything's official and everything. But yeah, so yeah, it kind of was pointless, but like obviously nobody, like we didn't know that. What do you mean he's been to Florida before? He went to Florida when he was like a kid or like a teenager or something. I don't know. I think he went to like Disney. I think. I mean, I know he's been to Florida before. I don't know if he went to Disney though. I know when he was a kid, he went to Florida. How are you gonna go to such a giant convention so shortly after face revealing like mentally? That's the big thing, is like that's the only reason I'm not sure, like pretty much the only reason I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to TwitchCon isn't because I don't think George will be here by then, because I'm fairly confident he will be. It's just because I don't know if he gets there like close to it. Let's say he gets there like fucking September 29th or October 3rd or something. Or I don't know, whatever. Let's just say he gets there late. He gets here late. Then like it will be so close after I face reveal that I would debate not going. Just because I don't really want, first of all, I don't want like the first week after my face reveal to be like a Twitch thing. Like I really want it to just be a me thing and like a Dream Team thing. So that is like pretty much the only reason that it'd be a debate for me. If it ends up being like earlier, like where like it's, you know, late September or something, then I'd be much more confident that I would go, because then, you know, it'd be a couple weeks later. I'd have more time to adjust and have fun with the Dream Team and stuff before then. And then it wouldn't be a big deal. Like, you know, oh well, I wouldn't be doing like I'd be like meeting fans, so I wouldn't do like a fan meetup or anything. I would just do like panels or whatever and talk and chill and hang out with people and meet people. Meet like streamers and YouTubers and stuff that are there. Do you have any sort of stage fright? I don't know. When do you think I've ever like had to go in front of a stage? If I did, I probably wouldn't remember it. I mean, I obviously I was online schooled most of high school, and I don't remember anything like related to middle school with like a stage. So I don't think I've ever like, maybe I do. Maybe I have massive stage fright and I don't know. Imagine that. It'd be kind of funny. I feel like I don't. I feel like stage fright kind of comes, I feel like you'd probably know if you were afraid of like crowds and stages and stuff. I mean, I feel like everyone has a little bit of stage fright no matter what. I'm sure I will be super nervous and super like, you know, adrenaline and scared and whatever. But I feel like that's just a natural like reaction to being in front of a lot of people. If you do end up going to TwitchCon, are you okay with people coming up to you and saying hi, asking for pics? Yeah. What? Well, yeah, of course I'd be okay with that. I think it depends on the situation as well. If I'm, if like I'm sure there'll be like security and if I am there, and it depends like if I'm in a rush or whatever. I don't want to be like an ass or anything, obviously, but I'm sure if it's just a situation, and I'm just around and you're able to walk up and say hi and that's it, then that's it. I'm totally cool. I love meeting people. That's one of the things I'm most looking forward to, is meeting you guys. Now people taking pictures from afar and stuff, I don't like that as much. It's like secretly like taking photos, obviously. If you see me, come up to me, say hi. Don't be nervous. I don't bite. I'm sure I'll be friendly. And I mean, I don't know if I'll do this I think I've said this before. I don't know if I'll do this at TwitchCon because there's too many people there. But I want to like just like bring coins with me and like little knickknacks and stuff. Just I keep one or two in my wallet or something. That way, if I do meet a fan, like even just like in Orlando or whatever, or anywhere, then I can give them like a little souvenir. I don't know. I think I mentioned that so long ago, but I don't know why that's been on my mind. It's something I've had that stuck in my mind. Like I really want to do that. I just really want to do that. That way they can not, when someone meets me, it's not just them meeting me. They have something to remember it and be like, other than a picture, which pictures are nice, obviously, but it's like a physical thing. And so I've it's just like, oh hey, here, do you want a coin, or do you want? I don't know. Maybe that's lame. I think it's cool. I've always thought that I wanted to do something like that. So I probably won't do that at TwitchCon because there's too many people. I'll have to give away too much. I won't have enough to carry on me. But just in general, I want to carry one or two things on me usually. So if I meet a fan or two, I can give them something. I have a whole closet full of like thousands of coins because every time I have released a coin, I'm like, okay, just give me. I think it's 100. I say, give me 100, and so I like buy 100, just to keep. So I'm like, later on, I can just give out. Just have these coins that I just give out. I mean, I literally have no plans for them other than giving them out to fans when I meet them. And maybe like if I ever do like event type stuff, I can give away coins and etc. Do you plan to record the first time you meet GNF? Maybe post a whole vlog? Yes. Look, you guys will see our first interaction in person, us meeting. You'll see him. I'm sure you'll see him. You'll probably see him like meet Patches. You'll probably see him meet like my mom. You'll probably see him. You probably see him meet Drista. I don't know. We don't have it like exactly planned out. Obviously, it's just gonna kind of happen depending on how it happens. But I'm sure you'll see. I'm sure you guys will. It'll all be on film. Hey, you waited this long. You don't think we're gonna milk it? Come on. It's gonna be milked. Look, it's gonna be milked for your benefit and for our own. It's a win-win of milking. All the content, all the meetup content and everything. Don't lose the footage of you meeting George like you. That was different. We were never going to post anything of us meeting. That was just for my own personal thing. And I think I explained it, but what happened was I edited on iPhone, and like I like to get the little thing I posted, like the sound clip I posted of like the car honking or whatever, like when he got here. I like did a crop on it, and I guess I saved the video as it was. And so it was just the clip, but I thought I had copied it or something, and then I deleted the clip. And so then I didn't have the original video, but that was never going to be public anyway. That was just for us. And it was just, I think it was just audio. I'm pretty sure I just had my phone in my pocket. I didn't want to, I felt weird like putting a camera up in his face. So I want to ask you guys this. This is a good question. This was something me and George were talking about this recently. And we had talked about it before as well. But I think that because George hasn't seen what I look like. There's something you guys aren't going to believe me because obviously I've joked he hasn't seen what I look like. But we want to have it be different when he sees what I look like versus seeing what I look like in person. So I had told him before, like, essentially when he gets his visa, he could just FaceTime me, like, and he can record it or whatever. And, just essentially so it's two separate reactions. Obviously us meeting, because Otherwise, I feel like it potentially will be muddied unless you guys think he should just meet me and see me for the first time at the same time. But my personal thoughts is that it's two different reactions, and so it's kind of like overwhelming if it's two at once. It might make it weird. Like, oh, he's just seeing you for the first time and meeting you for the first time, versus like he can see me virtually and then meet me. You kind of get both reactions separately. So yeah, that's kind of the thought. We did talk about it recently though. That's the plan. That's the plan. The plan right now is that I told him, hey, if you want, you can FaceTime me like the second you get your visa, and get that reaction. So I think you'd get both. He sees me for the first time ever, FaceTime, and he obviously records his reaction and whatever, and then he sees me in person. The question was, what do you guys think about that? Obviously, someone said, what was the question? Yeah, I guess it wasn't as much. I guess now that I'm just reaffirming. Yeah, I guess that sounds like the best thing to do. But do a good cook for the vlog. Yep. You guys seem to agree. Some people are disagreeing, but you guys seem to agree. Generally. Yeah, I feel like it separates it. So it's like there's two separate epic kind of moments. And then also it separates it because I feel like it's just a weird thing seeing someone for the first time. Like usually it's not like a big deal because you usually just are used to seeing people. And so I feel like having you meet somebody and see them, I feel like when we meet, if he's already seen me, it'll just be hype. It'll just be like epic. Versus like if he hasn't seen me, I feel like it'll be like he has to first react to seeing what I look like and then react to like, holy shit, we're meeting, you know? So I feel like separating it just makes it so it's better. So yeah, I guess that's probably what we'll do. But it's up to George. So George has the option of if he wants to call me, he can. Are you doing the same with Quackity and Carl, like two different reactions? I don't know. I have no idea. I think I promised like this. Yeah, I've asked about Quackity and Carl, but I'm pretty sure I promised Tommy that he could FaceTime me and see me before the face reveal goes live at all. So he could at least so he can at minimum see me before the public. He's asked me, you promised me, right? You promised me before the world sees your face. I will, right? I'm like, yes, Tommy, I promise. But I think for Quackity and Carl, I don't know. I mean they'll definitely see me before like the face reveal. So I'm guessing the answer is yes, it'll be separate. I don't know if we'll like film it or anything, but they'll definitely see me before. How did you approach it with Sapnap? Did he already know what you looked like, or did you do a FaceTime thing? He already knew what I looked like. So and I had we had already like video called and shit a bunch of times. I mean, he hadn't seen me in a bit since when he did see me, but like he just knew what I looked like, and we had already like he knew what I looked like, so there wasn't like a big thing. When did Saturn see your face? He had just seen my face forever because I've known him since like 2014. So he just happened to have we were like best friends. Like essentially we were like, I mean it was before 2014, like 2012. That's confusing. Like I met George in like 20. To be fair, like I've known like I technically knew of George like since like 2011. Like actually, like he played on the same server as us, and like there was a server that he ran that I was staff on. I don't have any like vivid memories of talking to him at all, but we know that we like must have, because I was staff on multiple servers that he was also staff on, and multiple time periods, and also I was friends with like a bunch of people that he was friends with. But we just don't know for sure. Like we just weren't ever like, we weren't like friends until way later, but we didn't know each other. But anyway, yes, I don't just knew. Why doesn't George already know? Because George kind of knows me since I was like more aware of like my online presence, and so I don't know. Like Sam was known me since I was a kid, and George has only known me since I was like a teenager. You know. I mean, I guess I was technically a teenager when I met Sapnap. No, was I? I guess I probably was just turned 13, probably. No, I was probably 12. I think I was 12. Anyway, either way, Sap was known me since I was a kid. George has known me since I was like an adult. I was learning to, I was just starting learning to code whenever I met George. Like whenever me and George became friends. So there was not really like, I don't know. We were just playing games and stuff. See, is that new? Why didn't George? Are you a stinky little? Why are you a stinky little gatekeeper with only half your BFFs? It's just like coincidence. Like it's the same. It's the same reason. Like I never planned to be a faceless creator. It just kind of happened. Like I didn't at all plan on being faceless. I just didn't. I just happened to like have not posted my face, and then I blew up quickly, and then people made art and stuff, and I liked it, and I thought it was cool, and I thought it was funny to joke about a face reveal. And then it just became a part of my brand, and so I just was like, I never planned on doing it. I just never really like. I never had a webcam or anything. I never like showed my. I didn't even have like Snapchat until like I don't know, 2017 or something. I don't know, or later. I don't know. 2018 probably. Yeah, probably 2018. I don't think I had Snapchat until or like any social. I didn't have, guys, remember, I didn't have social media. Like I've never had like a Facebook. I've never had like, before YouTube, I never had like a Twitter. Like my Twitter was made in like I'm looking at it. My Twitter was made August 2010, but that was only because like I had to, as like part of a class I was in, I had to like make my Twitter. Like it was like a technology class when I was in middle school. So like I never had a Twitter. So I never had any social media. So I don't know. I didn't go around showing people my face. So like none of my friends had ever seen my face. Nick had, because we just called all the time, and so we just called. Me and Nick just called so much, and it was when I was a kid as well. And I had like, I had like a laptop that had like a laptop camera, and I would turn it on sometimes whenever we were just like in like a Skype call. But no one else that I knew saw what I look like. And like Alyssa, obviously the only two people who have seen me are Alyssa and Sapnap. And Alyssa was only just because I just happened to be like in the area and was like, "Do you want to meet?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, here's a picture of me." And then we met, and that was, so again, it was just kind of like a necessity. It wasn't actually a planned out thing or anything. So yeah. And that was before YouTube, obviously. That was in 2018. It's so funny. I remember vividly, quote unquote, face revealing to Sapnap. I remember vividly because what had happened was I had just gotten, I could probably find out the exact date it was on, because I remember I went to a wedding with my family, and I had a suit, and it was like after I got home from the wedding, and I was on the back like porch, and I turned my camera on. Like I went on Discord and I turned my camera on, and because I was like wearing a suit, and I thought it was funny. And I think that was the first time that was definitely the first time he ever saw my face. And it was like I was wearing a suit, and I thought it was funny, and so I turned it on. And I was probably like 14 or 15 or something. And so yeah, that was the first time he ever saw my face. I was wearing a suit, and I was out on my back porch on my laptop. Yeah. Which one do you want? I'll send it to your PO box. I don't know. That's funny. I like the dumb. I was thinking, like, I think shirts aren't as funny that have like dumb sayings on them anymore, but like little, like the aprons is kind of funny. I don't know why. Probably because I wouldn't be wearing it. I can just imagine, like, I don't know, my mom would like appreciate a dumb apron gift. I'm sure I'll use one as well though. It's just kind of funny. Think of good questions, guys. I have to go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Think of some questions. Alrighty, I'm back. Let's see. Have you guys got any good questions? What was Saturn's face reveal? When did you first see his face? I don't remember. I think I just I just kind of did. I think he had a webcam before I did, and he used it a lot. I think he would just post pictures. Like I just have never had photos of myself. Like I don't think I've ever. I think I've like almost never taken like selfies up until like even I say like recently. It's probably the only time I've ever taken selfies. Before that, I don't know. I was not a selfie person at all. And then like just pictures in general. Like again, I was like homeschooled. So I don't know. I didn't have as many like social events and stuff that I would go to. So I didn't really have pictures of me at like them. The only photos I really had of myself were like family photos and stuff. And that's kind of why the faceless stuff kind of worked out, I guess. Cause I wasn't really a picture person, where I feel like most people kind of are. And so I think he would just send photos because he would have photos. I didn't really have any. I wasn't much of a photo person. Did you ever do things like collect stuff at the beach when you were younger? Yeah, I did. I remember I had like a jar of like shells and stuff, and just anything from the beach. You should recreate the gator wrestling photo for your face reveal. That's so funny. George the other day was joking. He's like, I want to go to. He's like, where? I want to go to Gatorland, and we were literally this like the other day. We were talking about this probably yesterday. He was like, I want to go to Gatorland. Am I like too big, or would they let me like sit on a gator? I was like, I think they can like do it with a bigger gator probably. And you can recreate it. And he's like, okay, so guys, expect that vlog. Do you currently have facial hair? I have a bit of stubble. I've been keeping the stubble recently. Like just every time I get it to where like I don't really have like you wouldn't say I have a beard, but you would say yeah, I have like I'm not clean shaven. I've been liking that look recently, so that's been my go-to. Do you consider the X-ray video as the funniest video you've ever done? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I think that there's been so many funny ones. I really like the whole like monster bacteria one. That one was hilarious. We've done a lot of really funny videos. And that were like super fun to record and everything. I feel like there's been so many really, really funny ones. That one is really funny though. Are you gonna cut your hair before the meetup face reveal? Also, how long is your hair right now? My hair is really long right now. I will cut it before the face reveal for sure. I won't cut it like short though. I like my hair long. It just needs to not be as like rat's nesty as it is right now. So. It's kind of funny. We were talking about it before that. Me, Sapnap, and George's birthdays are almost exactly like evenly spaced out, like almost exactly perfectly evenly spaced out. If my birthday was on the 1st of August, we'd be like the perfect like trio of birthdays, like exactly evenly spaced out. I'm pretty sure. Or if maybe it wasn't, maybe not August, maybe if I was maybe July, I think. Wait, I don't know. Okay, what is it? I think George's is November. And Southampton's is March. Wait. Did I just butcher that? Is it May? Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. No, it's March. Okay, it's March. I'm looking it up now, but I hadn't looked it up yet. It's March 1st. Okay. March 1st. Because then it goes April, May, June, July, August, and then September, October. Yeah, if I was July. Okay. Well, if I was July, our birthdays would be like perfect. If I was July 1st. Well, it's just funny because his is March 1st and then November 1st. So, look, I knew it was March. Guys, I knew it was March. That's why I said March. I just started doubting myself because I was like, wait, March feels too early. But it's not too early. I don't know why March felt too early. It just did. I think it's because I was thinking that they're evenly spaced out. And I was like, how are they evenly spaced out if it's March? But then I realized, I was like, well, it's not actually evenly spaced out. I think it's just that it's November 1st and then his happens to be March 1st. So yeah, it's kind of awesome actually that I've won MCC in August 3 times, and my birthday's in August. It's my month, my birthday month. That's kind of awesome. Do you have your Minecraft open right now? I don't. Will you make solo TikToks when you face Charlie? Yes. I'll be a dumb TikToker. I'll probably post a decent amount of TikToks. Anytime I have some dumb idea, I'll just that I don't want to make like a video of, I'll just post it. Even like dumb Minecraft stuff, probably. I don't know. I'll do a bunch of IRL stuff, just random shit. 1 second. 1 minute. Sorry guys, give me another minute. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm back. I just was writing some Dream SMP lore. I just had an idea and had to write it down and send it out. Does that ever happen to you? You just have a random idea. I'm back. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is you guys better be ready for these next couple weeks for Dream SMP lore. Better be ready. Lots of stuff. Is there a date in which there will be Dream SMP Season 2 start date? No, but you guys will know. Well, there is a date. The date has been decided. The date has been announced to the Discord. The Discord is. We had a Dream SMP meeting about it. We all, like a ton of people showed up, and we all discussed it and planned out when it was going to be, and we picked the dates for the end of Season 1 and the starts of Season 2. So those dates are chosen, and you will know them, but you won't know them in advance. You will just know them as they happen. You will know the start date of Season 2 in advance, but you won't know the end date of Season 1 in advance. It'll happen, and then the start date of Season 2 will be announced, and you'll be like, oh shit, and then it'll happen. And both take place confirmed within the next month. So from now until September 22nd, both the end of Season 1 will happen and the beginning of Season 2 will happen. I'm not going to be more specific than that. But I can say that as far as I know, everyone that is a part of Dream SMP Season 1 is on board to be a part of Dream SMP Season 2, at least for the start of Season 2. And everyone has talked about and discussed how things are going to work and the rules and everything. Obviously, there's been disagreements here and there on certain things. There's been discussions and votes and everything. But we've laid out a great plan, and should be a lot of fun. There's in a lot of ways it'll be going back to the roots of the Dream SMP, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be streaming it a lot, so everyone will be streaming it a lot. Why'd you wait until we started school again? I swear nothing happened all summer. Now everything's happening, coming back. We tried to make it work for summer. The problem was just there was so much to work out and so many things, and we only really had the initial idea at the very beginning of the summer, and it was like, let's get it by the summer, and then it just took longer. It just took longer than the summer. The plan was originally to have it be like a Dream SMP summer kind of reset, and well, not reset, but you know what I mean. Revamp, relaunch. Will Dream XD appear in Season 2? You have to wait and find out. Will Season 2 start canonically right after Season 1 ends? Season 2 will start canonically after Season 1 ends. I mean, the specifics you'll have to figure out. Will Season 2 of Dream SMP be a totally different story or a continuation? season 2 Dream Must Be will be a continuation of the story from season 1, in one way or another. It will not be, hey guys, this is a completely different thing, but we're calling it Dream SMP. Things it will be still the same story. It's just like a TV show. It'll be a different season, so there'll be new stuff happening, and it will be different enough. I guess I can compare it to, like, The Walking Dead as an example. Like, from season to season, it's a very different show, even though it's very similar. Like they'll one they'll be at the prison, and then the next season they'll be at the barnyard, and the next season they'll be et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's very, very akin to that, versus a completely different thing. But it will be different in a lot of ways. But it'll be different because of the story and not because of anything else. And yeah, I mean, the reason I saw people talking about season 2 versus whatever, it's just easier to digest it being called season 2. Obviously, we've all said before season 2, season 3, season 4, and like different things. But there was nothing official about it. It was just kind of a joke about, like, oh, things have changed so much that it's a new season, So everyone can kind of go back and call those whatever they want. We all decided that we were just going to call this season 2 because it's the first time it was actually a designated kind of break and a designated start and beginning and a designated end. We've never done that before. So season 1, season 2, and everything else can be chapters, or volumes, or whatever you guys want to call it from the beginning. We don't really, I don't think anyone has too much of a preference, but season 1 and season 2 are what we decided to call them because it seems the most accurate to what they are. It's kind of cool. I'm just looking at a post on the MCC Reddit, and it's about me and George's synergy in Battle Box. It's kind of cool. We had really good teamwork. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, I'm just refreshing the hashtag now. I was just giving it some time. Get some new stuff. How are you spending the rest of your day? I don't know. I don't actually know. I want to take a bath at some point. That'll be relaxing. That'll take about an hour, an hour bath. Might play some Minecraft. I don't know. I'm being quiet. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just doing stuff. Like I'm just here with you guys in silence, just chilling. Right? You guys can do your own thing. I'm doing my own thing. Huh. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday. Since you'd be teaching George how to drive, would you film it? Yeah, we'll definitely film. That'll probably be a vlog. I'm gonna teach him how to drive. Me and Nick, probably. Me and Satnap. Is Satnap more Satnap or Nick tier? It just depends who. I feel like when I refer to him as him doing something in person, I feel like I almost always naturally say Nick. And when I refer to him doing something online, I almost always naturally say Sapnap. So I feel like it's pretty a natural flow. Like usually if we're in person, I very smoothly call him Nick. And usually if I'm talking to someone like IRL, I call him Nick or whatever. But I feel like that's why I think that time the reason I said Nick is because I was picturing him in real life teaching George to drive in real life, right? So that's why I said Nick. I feel like it's pretty natural. I feel like he's both. It's just depends who I'm referring, like if I'm referring to him in person or not. I don't think George will call us by. I think George will call me Dream. Mostly. I think it'll slowly change over time, but I think he'll mostly call me Dream. They've just been calling me Dream for so long. I feel like it also helps that Dream is like one. Is it one syllable? Dream. Is it dream? Is it two syllables or one? It's one syllable, right? It's one syllable. Dream. Dream. Wait, is it two? Dream. It's just one syllable. Dream. It's just one syllable. I don't know. I think it's like it sounds more like a name. It's one syllable. It sounds more like a name than like Sapnap or like George Not Found. Like it sounds more like a name so I feel like people are more comfortable calling me it, and would probably be more comfortable as being like Dream, you know, like in person or whatever, if they need to like call me. Versus like it is kind of weird being like Sapnap, like if you're in person. I don't know. I think anything that doesn't sound like word. Obviously, Dream is like a word as well. So I feel like the fact that it's a word and it is one syllable and it kind of flows like a name. It's not like weird. I feel like makes it more likely people just keep calling me Dream in person. Versus like, yeah, I don't know. Calling somebody something else seems weird. That's funny. Do you prefer Dream over your actual name? That's a tough question. I think I do like, I don't know. I feel like they feel very interchangeable to me. Like sometimes I guess I'm so chronically online, but like sometimes I call myself Dream on accident. If I'm like thinking like in first, like if I'm speaking kind of in like a way where it's like, I don't know. I know it for a fact that out loud I have called, when I'm referring to myself, I have called myself Dream rather than Clay multiple times on accident. But also I primarily call myself Clay if I'm referring to myself or thinking about myself. Um, but I feel like they're very. I feel like I've been Dream, um, at this point in my life, now longer than I haven't been Dream. Like I was, I mean, I first started calling myself Dream, and actually, I technically it's not longer, but it's close. I think I first started calling myself Dream in like 2013, um, maybe like late 2012, and so I mean it's been obviously 10 years, so it's close to like half my life, and all my like best friends are, you know, have been like my online friends and stuff, so I get called Dream by way more people than I get called Clay, obviously. So they're kind of, to me, they're very interchangeable. Like to me, Dream is just as much my name as Clay is, which sounds kind of funny, but it's true. I feel like weird. I don't know. I feel weird saying that, but I think it's true. I don't mind it. I like the name Dream. I like the name Clay. I like my name. And they're both my name. One's my birth name and one's my chosen name. I don't know if those are terms or not, but there you go. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. That was fun. We were there for a while, right? I don't know how long we did this for. Quite a bit though. Or it feels like a while. A couple hours. See you guys. Love ya. Peace. Talk soon. Bye.